Now that we're rapidly approaching 150 miles in this shoe, I thought it'd be a good time, after all the testing we've done, for me to give you my final thoughts, my final verdict on the Nike Pegasus 36 trail shoe. What is up guys, Andy Forestine Runner here, back with another video for you today, and today I'm delighted to be diving in, giving you my full thoughts on the Nike Pegasus 36 trail shoe. Yes, we are rapidly approaching, as I said, 150 miles in this shoe, and it has been an absolute beaut of a shoe. I have used this in all sorts of situations, all types of runs, and today I want to dive in, tell you a little bit more about that, tell you the pros of the shoe, tell you the cons of this shoe, and tell you how excited I am to be putting a load more miles in this thing, hopefully smashing the 300 mile mark in this shoe. I think it's got that durability in there. So if you're excited for this video guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share it with your friends if you'd be good enough, and let's, without further ado, talk about how we've been using this shoe. So with the retirement of my Asics GT 2006s, because they were so comfy I wanted to use them as an everyday shoe, and then the purchasing of the New Balance Fuel Cell Propel shoes. The Propels were meant for me to be able to take a lot of the easy daily miles away from this shoe, because this is the shoe that I was using for those daily miles. But unfortunately with that shoe, I've had to send it back because it is a bit too small. I'm hoping to get the next size sent back to me as soon as possible, because that shoe is an absolute stonking beauty of a shoe, so comfortable. But anyway, this video is not about that. So this shoe ended up being the workhorse, and has been the workhorse for the past 2, 3, 4 weeks in particular, hence why the miles have ramped up relatively quickly. I ended up having, I think, only like 30 or 40 miles in this thing 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then suddenly 3 or 4 weeks ago, sorry, and suddenly we are rapidly approaching the 150 mark. Now obviously we've been using the Nike Zoom Fly 3s for the workouts and the long run workouts, but this thing has been soaking up the trail runs, the easy runs, a couple of long runs and everything in between really, and I have absolutely had a blast running this shoe. A couple of things that I want to tell you about how I've been using it and the wear and tear of the shoe. So I've been using this thing on the pavements and on the trails. I haven't taken it on any sort of pavement running, like I haven't gone and done a 6 to 8 mile sort of concrete run, shall we say, but I have been doing it on 8 to 10 mile runs where I have maybe extended the pavement running to a mile or two before I hit the trail, and that's just for my sort of peace of mind really, to test out how this thing deals with. And I think the Ginger Runner summed it up perfectly when he did his review. It very much is a hybrid shoe. It very much can be used road and trail. I'm not 100% sure I would use this solidly for road runs. I know he said he did. I'm not 100% sure that I would do that. It could do it and it would be absolutely fine, but I'm enjoying using this thing on the trails because it's just such a great shoe to do. But I will say that it's holding up really, really well if you do choose to do a bit of pavement concrete running and a bit of trail running. And in terms of the wear and tear of this shoe, there is literally no wear and tear, not one loose stitch, not one hole appearing, nothing. The laces are doing great. The only thing you will see is how muddy this thing is, and that's just because I've been having a bit of a blast in this shoe, taking it on the trails. Now for me, it's really important that I can get a shoe that can take me well over the 300 mile mark, preferably closer to the 400-500 mile mark, and I have no doubts that this shoe is going to sail over the 300 mile mark. I've been in shoes where I've got to this point and gone, you're not going to last much longer. You might start to get sort of shin pains or sort of muscle aches, especially for me in the calves I get if a shoe is really starting to lose its cushiness, springiness and supportiveness. This thing is absolutely not doing any of those things, and it just, the more I wear it, the better it is. And I think I can credit that all down to this Zoom Air midsole. The cushioning in this midsole is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, 10 out of 10. It has been an absolute blast to run in. So let me give you the positives, the negatives, and then what I intend to do moving forward with this shoe. Okay, so the main positives of this shoe, as I have just alluded to, is the durability and the comfort. For me, those two are going hand in hand at the moment, and they are making this shoe an absolute no-brainer when I'm looking at my shoe rack wondering what I should pick. This is the one that stands out to me every single time, and I sometimes have to fight myself to wear a different pair of shoes because I really am enjoying this shoe that much. It's just comfort levels, as I said, 10 out of 10. There's nothing at the moment for me, bar the propels, which, fingers crossed, I'll get back very soon, which I have found such comfort in. The Zoom Fly 3s that I have are softer, more comfortable than the original Zoom Flies, but they don't have a scratch on this thing. This thing is absolutely brilliant. For me personally, another standout element of this shoe is the heel counter, with it being so soft and cushioned. Again, on the racing shoes that we tend to buy as runners, this area now, with the more modern designs coming out, tend to be thinner, stripped back, the most tiniest bit of cushioning due to weight restriction, not weight restrictions, but trying to reduce weight in a shoe. And sometimes you just want a bit of comfort, and this shoe gives you that comfort, along with the laces, which have been a revelation for me because it's the one thing I've struggled with Nike shoes, and the fly wire. Interestingly, this uses fly wire. By the looks of it, this uses the fly wire, the same as the Nike Zoom Fly. But I've not had an issue with getting the laces tight or them undoing, or the whole upper feeling like it's getting loose as I'm running. And that proves to me that in the Nike Zoom Flies that I had, where I had that issue with the laces coming undone, that it was the laces more so than the actual fly wire itself. So just the whole general comfort, the dialing in, everything, it's a shoe that I can put on at the start and basically not need to worry about for the whole run. And that for me is brilliant, because there are some shoes, as you know, that you run in and you get halfway through your run and you think, I need to tighten these up, or they're feeling a bit loose, or your heel's slipping, or whatever it is. I just don't get anything in this. The only drawback, the only downside, the only con that I have with this shoe, and it's not really a con because I shouldn't really expect it to, the lugs on this shoe are not very deep at all, so you can't take this thing through deep, thick mud. This isn't going to be one of those Vibram outsole shoes that you can basically, the mud claws, where you can take them through the boggiest of terrain and survive and live to see another day. This thing won't take you through that. This thing I have taken on some technical terrain, if you've seen the tests, and it's held up really well, but its downside is the mud. So I've taken it over rocks, scrambling up over rocks, things like that. It's been great. It's the grip on the lugs is fantastic. But the mud side of it is just, it's not its friend. You can take it through very shallow mud. You can take it, as you can see, and I've done that, and it's great. You feel very confident in doing so. But the second you get any sort of deep mud, these lugs just won't grip. So don't think you can buy this shoe and take it on a technical muddy route, because it's just not going to work. But to be honest with you guys, I don't think that's what this shoe is designed for. You have the Wild Horse and Terra Kiger 5 that Nike have brought out that are more geared towards those sorts of races, with deeper lugs, more aggressive lugs, shall we say. And this thing is more of, as I said in the beginning, and for those of you in the UK, worldwide, you might not know what I mean, but AstroTurf boots, which is kind of like football boots, which have tiny little moulded studs on them. That's kind of what these are like, just a heck of a lot more comfortable. So from that perspective, it's got so many pros going for it. Just that one thing that I find, obviously, that I can't take it through mud. But then, to be honest with you guys, I'm not expecting this shoe to do that. I don't want it to. So if you're under any illusions that you could buy this shoe and take it on some muddy routes, I wouldn't recommend this one. Maybe look at another one in the Nike range if you're interested. But in terms of everything else, fire roads, single tracks, technical rocky terrain, this thing can handle it. And so where does this leave me going forward with this shoe? Well, as I said, I wanted to tell you what I'm looking forward to the future with this thing. And the future for me with this shoe is going to be that I want to try a race in this shoe. I don't know what that race is. I haven't got any booked. I haven't got any in my mind. But I would love to really give it the final bells and whistles test and put it through its paces in a race. I mean, I've done speed workouts in this shoe and found it an absolute joy to run in. Obviously, I've done the long run test. I've done the technical test, I've done another test, a speed workout test. So I have put this thing through its paces, but the final piece of the puzzle for me will be to put a race in it. I don't know what that race is going to be, I don't know how long that race is going to be, but I'd love to give it a go. And for me, it's just going to be about continuing to chuck miles at this shoe and really see how the durability lasts. In my opinion at the moment, this thing is going to last the distance. I'm hoping it's going to prove me right. I can guarantee you that if you get this shoe, you will absolutely love the cushioning and the comfort if you like that type of shoe. If you like a harder ride, then this might not be the shoe for you. But if you want something cushioned that's going to take you around the trails and give you a lot of fun, then this is the shoe for you. So the future for me, as I said, lies in a race with this thing and just chucking as many miles at it as I can, hopefully toppling the 300 mark and beyond, and we'll see where we go from there. So that's it for the Nike Pegasus Trail 36 shoe videos, guys. I hope you have enjoyed me testing out this shoe. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on it. If you have, as I said, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and do consider subscribing to the channel for weekly running content. And if you're enjoying what we're doing on the channel and want to support the channel, make sure that you check out the links in the description below. There is an option to donate if you wish to do so. And that's it from me today, guys. I will see you next time. Until then.